Good night, good night, good night, people of God. I don't know what's wrong with my phone. I'm not gonna stay on here long. I want to say something right quick. I'm just leaving the gym. I've already got myself all showered up, so I'm going home to get straight in my bed. But I want to share this right quick, people of God. Don't allow somebody's success, right, worldly success, make you tolerate bad behavior, or don't allow yourself to go into business or partner with somebody that just has a very bad attitude or nasty spirit. Even if they're not being nasty with you, or it's someone else, if you see that they are disrespectful or they just have a nasty character, they're unreasonable, they're not reasonable, and they don't take accountability when they're wrong about something. They may have a level of success that you like or you admire, and you can maybe network with them, but don't push past all of those negative red flags and go into business with people like that, because you could set yourself up for stress and failure and heartache. You could set yourself up for disaster. Find your own way or just keep moving. And the reason I said that is because, I observed something tonight that really just made my spirit feel down. There was a young lady, who I was talking to, a young sister who's younger than me, and she shares, when she's at the gym, when I'm at the gym, she shares some things that her childhood trauma and stuff. She just likes talking to me, and so I was speaking. She and I started speaking. I was helping her get, giving her some knowledge on how to set up a certain account for some different type of investments, and so while we were speaking on those things, obviously there were others around listening. And then so, when we finished speaking, there's another young lady who was there, and then she brought up the fact, she was sharing with me how she's a investor. She owns real estate, and she's also a developer. And so I said, well, what does that entail? I said, I know, owning real estate and investing. But when you say that you're a developer, what does that entail? And so she says that she says, just developing community. She said she bought a hotel, and she was just sharing many things. And I was like, wow, you know, because she's a young girl, I believe in her 40s, but she's so she was sharing how she bought a hotel, and she's like, yeah, she's like, so you can buy, she said, we can buy flip. She said, I bought it to flip it, I fix it up, I'm going to flip it. And she said, then there are some things where we buy to invest. She said, I'm looking at another one, and I'm going to buy that one to invest, and then I'll hold on to that one, and it easily can be a 7-figure business, and she said that there, whole community. She said you can buy land and just develop houses on that land. People can buy plots of land from you, and so basically she was just explaining and all that she does. And I was like, I am really impressed. I said, so I'm interested in, learning and networking. And she was like, yeah, she was like, I'm gonna get your number before you leave here. I was like, that's cool, right? And then so I took my break. I took a break out of the steam room for a while, walked around, and then there was another um, elder lady. She came up, and when I was going back in, she came back in as well. And so all of us were in the steam room, just sitting around, lounging, talking. And then the elder, she got up to leave out of the steam room, and when she got up, she didn't, she wasn't moving around swiftly, so she had a little stride to get out, or whatever, how she, that's how she walked. And so when she was leaving out, this young girl who I was admiring, and who said that she was going to get my number before we left, she yells at the elder. And when the elder was going out, she says, can you close the door? Like, she was still kind of walking out, and the way she held on the door, she didn't move around like many of us, right? And so this girl, young girl, who is very successful, she says, can you close the door? And the steam is going off, so the elder really didn't hear her. And she was like, you're letting all the steam out. And she was like, huh? So the elder came back and reached her head in a little bit. She was like, huh? She didn't understand what the young lady was saying. She was like, shut the door. And the elder just looked, and she was like, and she just back up, and then she just let the door go shut, and she walked off. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. the thing cut my spirit because I knew the lady felt some type of way. She had to be, that elder had to be in her mid or late 60s. But that did it for me. I'm like, you ain't getting my number. We ain't need to connect on nothing. I don't care how successful you are, I don't care how many hotels or whatever you bought. We ain't connecting on no level. That did it for me. And so I waited until the door came all the way closed, and everybody else was in there just sitting down looking. And so I said, that was rude. Because she was like, she let all the steam going out. I was like, that was rude. I said, you didn't have to speak to her like that. And she was like, but she letting all the steam, when the steam got to get, I said, I understand what you're saying. But she holding the door so long, she kept saying, she holding the door. I said, I understand what you're saying. Yes, you're right. When you open the door, the steam goes out. But that was disrespectful. I said, I would never speak to my elder like that in front of all these people, in front of public like that. Like, that was just rude. And she was like, but she let the door. I said, okay. I said, I hear what you're saying, but it was rude. I don't agree with you. And so I got up and I went to go out because I wanted to apologize to that elder. Like, it just killed my whole vibe. Like, that whole thing just killed my whole vibe. I don't want to network with nobody. I don't want to learn about nothing that you got going on. God has sent me somebody else if I need to learn something in that area, And I got an elder. I could talk to him about different things because he does that. He's a developer. I guess he buys. I know he just bought like what did he tell me? I was praying for him last year. He was auctioning off a piece of property. I forgot how much they were. He was trying to buy it for, but it was pretty pricey, and he won the bid. They got it, him and his daughter. And so if I got questions, I guess I could ask him those type of questions. But that just kind of just threw me all the way off. And so I went to go find the elder, and I told her, she was about to take a shower. And I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, I just want to let you know, I just want to apologize. And she was like, I didn't understand. What did I do? I said, no, you didn't do anything. It was just rude behavior. And she was like, what did she do? Was she feel embarrassed about me opening the door or something? I was like, it was just rude behavior. And she was like, because I didn't understand. I was thinking, what could I have done? And I said, I just wanted to let you know I apologize. And I said, I also let her know that I was not in agreement with the way she spoke to you. And she said, thank you so much. And then I turned and walked. And I went back to get my last bit of steam in. And then I left, you know. And people of God, attitude is everything. None of us is perfect. We all can have some good and bad days, but that ain't no bad day. That just disrespectful. That just being rude for no good reason. And speaking to somebody like that who is in a different condition than you, who's older than you, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't talk. I didn't like that. Not saying elders can be wrong. Elders don't be perfect. Sometimes you have older people that they mistreat the younger people. It's not how it should be. We have that as well. And there's a time and place for everything. God is a God of order and decency, and never in my life will you see me publicly like speaking to somebody like that. Not even if it's not even an elder, like to do that in front of so many people. That's just rude. That's disrespectful. If I got an issue, if I'm heated, let's be heated behind closed doors. you know but that situation like that wasn't even nothing to be heated about. That steam can come right back on and fill that room right back up. Whenever the temperature goes down, that's why it periodically keeps coming on, because it fills the whole room back up with steam, you know? And so I don't tolerate stuff like that. I don't want to hang around people like that. I don't want people like that. I'm not better than nobody, but I want people who can help me be better and control my anger when I'm upset, as well. If I get upset about something, I don't want to be around nobody who's a loose cannon. And if I try to check you and you're not receptive to nothing I'm saying, because if I'm your friend, I will tell you when you are wrong. And when you make public outbursts like that in front of other people, I'm not going to just go along with you, because I'm your friend. But clearly in this situation like that, I don't even want to get to know you as a friend. I don't want to do any type of business with you. When your attitude is sour and you are disrespectful to people like that, you did it to this one tonight, but it could be me the next time. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what's in you. If you do it to that person in front of people, what's so special about me? There's nothing different about me, you know? And so You pay attention to people's actions and their behaviors and how they treat people. I don't care how successful somebody is. I don't care how many businesses they build. I don't care how much money they got in their bank account. If that attitude is nasty and rude and disrespectful, I'm not gonna tolerate it. I don't want to learn nothing from you. There's nothing you're gonna be able to teach me. Only thing you can teach me is how not to be like you, right? I don't want to be around that type of behavior. You're gonna respect me. Respect is due to a dog because I'm gonna give you respect. And if you're wrong about something, then I should be able to come to you and point out where you're wrong so that you can reflect on that. I'm not gonna try to embarrass you or nothing like that. But that's just rude. That was just plain rude. There was no justification for speaking to that woman like that, And I had to apologize because I could feel, that lady came there to relax herself at night so she could sleep better at night, get a good night's sleep, and then to get up and you're finishing and to be spoken to like that and you don't even understand why. That's playing on her mind. So when I went to apologize, that's what she said. She was like, I didn't understand. Like, was it, what did I do? I didn't understand that. Was she embarrassed or something? I was like, no, it's just rude. It was just being rude. So don't do business with people like that, people of God. Don't do business with folk who have a bad attitude and you can't reason with them. You can't talk to them and reason with them. You can't come to any type of agreement, you know. So that's just my little 2 cents. I'm about to go home and get in my bed. I just wanted to share that really quick. It didn't make me feel good to observe that because I was in a really, really good mood. But that didn't make me feel good to see that. Nope, it didn't. Right? So anyway, have a blessed night. Respect your elders. And even when the elders is wrong, they know when they wrong. You could tell them. If they don't want to listen, you can't make them because some of them get old and stuck in their ways. But sometimes when the elders is wrong, they know when they wrong. And if you try to talk to them and they give you pushback, they try to be self-righteous, then just slowly go away in love. You can wish them well and still love them. I have an elder that spoke to me wrongly or did something wrong to me. Well, several elders have did something over to me over the course of my life, but at the end of the day, I always go away in love. It might hurt me, but I go away in love, and I'm gonna try to explain myself. I'm gonna try to talk to you so that I can understand or get you to get on one accord and understand why you did what you did, and see where you was really coming from. But if you avoid that and you don't want to talk and you keep avoiding it, then I'll be able to put two and two together and I just go away in love. I wish you well and I go away. And what some elders do, they could be manipulative too. Sometimes when they know they did something wrong, they don't come out and apologize. They'll try to get you a gift or something like that. That's their way of trying to say they sorry. Or they'll just talk over. Like some elders is real stubborn. They know they did something wrong and they know you pulled away from them and they know they miss you having you connected to them. And so rather than try to just call you and talk to you and say, you know what, I know this after so and so or after I did that, that probably had hurt your feelings, or rather than talk to you, because they very wise. A lot of them, they're smarter than us, but see, sometimes they get more crafty in their wisdom, which turns into witchcraft when they try to keep playing on people's minds and stuff like that. And I pray that they rid their soul, the ones who are like that. I pray that they rid their soul of that and just be more humble. It's okay to apologize when you're wrong. That doesn't make you a bad person. That actually makes you a righteous and an upstandable person, because when you stand for good and you can also recognize when you're wrong sometimes, that's what makes us righteous. But sometimes you get some of them, they'll know what they do, but they'll try to like just talk about something else, or they'll wait till a lot of time go by and then try to send you something or give you something to want you to look at something that has nothing to do with where they left off at, where they did that wrong, that offense, and they will not accept accountability for their wrong. And so you can pull away from that. You don't have to allow yourself to entertain stuff like that. And that's not disrespectful. You don't even have to bring up the conversation when you see there's manipulation and they're deliberately trying to just go on with something else and they know what they did. Just, you can move on. You can move on in love. And how we handle people who offend us and people who mistreat us. Not saying we don't come out of pocket sometimes, because I do. I could come out of pocket sometimes. I think it's been a while since I didn't like really came out of pocket. But sometimes, you know, how how we handle those who offend us and mistreat us, that goes to show where our heart is as well, and our level of maturity. And also sometimes there can be parts of us that are not healed, because if somebody does something to hurt us and offend us, and we just lash out with them with other hurtful and offensive and painful things, sometimes, not every case, but sometimes that can be showing us that a part of us is still not healed, you know. And so anyway, I'm getting sleepy, so y'all have a blessed night. I love you. But just remember my little 2 cents. I wouldn't do business with nobody that had a bad attitude. I don't care how much money they had. I don't care how much success they had. I don't care how many, whatever they had. I don't care how many businesses they had. You know, when that attitude is bad and you are just a mean, rotten person on the inside, and the way you talk to people is just downright dirty and can be very cruel, I want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with you. And that's just me, right? Have a blessed day. I love you. Blessed night. I love you. Good night.